Now, we've got a very interesting person sitting here on the couch beside me now, and that is Erika Brodnock. And Erika is a parenting coach and an expert, and you specialise in child confidence, right?
That's right.
And the reason we're talking to you is that we've got this investigation that we have carried out today, and it shows that almost 2,000 children have been investigated by police in the last 3 years over social media abuse and bullying. So here's the question, Erika. Did this not always happen, and has it simply just moved from the street corner or the playground to online?
So bullying's always been there, you're absolutely right. What's happened now, though, is that because of the fact that we have the internet, it's constant. So before, if you were bullied at school, you would be able to go home and then that would be an end to it until the following day.
Yes.
Whereas now you're then connected to your bullies online and throughout the evening into the night, etc. And it's constantly there. So children are finding it a lot more difficult to escape bullying at this point. But it's always been an issue, and it will continue to be an issue until we equip children with the skills to be able to be more resilient to bullying, but then also equip bullies with the skills to start to identify how it is that they're feeling.
So what you're saying is, rather than us as parents being worried about policing all the time, that if you actually give them the etiquette to how to behave online, we will get somewhere.
Absolutely. I think that children are born into a digital world now, and there's this assumption that because they're born into the digital world, they know how to navigate that world safely. But at the end of the day, we were born into the streets, as it were, yet someone still taught us the Green Cross Code. And what needs to happen is we need to equip children with the skills that they need to be able to navigate the digital world that they live in at this point.
Samantha, as a mum, are you worried about this?
I am. My kids are too young at the moment to be on social media, but certainly in the coming years they will be. We've had one tweet today, somebody saying how kids conduct themselves on social media is a reflection of how they conduct themselves in real life. But do you think it is? Do you think that they hide behind social media? We see that a lot in online bullying because it can be anonymous. Do you think kids who perhaps wouldn't be so daring in the playground to go and pick on somebody, they feel that they can because it's hidden, people can't see it, it's just the person who's affected who knows? And
you see, this speaks exactly to my point. I think that the educational piece needs to happen so that people do realise that actually online is exactly the same as offline. And in the same way you wouldn't allow your children to play unsupervised in the street, parents shouldn't be allowing their children to play unsupervised on the internet be a bit below certain ages. And we need to be...
What is that age?
Well, it depends. Every parent's individual. Some parents let their children go to school alone at 7, which is unsupervised, and some say, right, no, it's 11. But whatever that is for you as a parent, that needs to be consistent. The virtual world is a world nonetheless than the real world, and we need to acknowledge that.
Do you know what I'm wondering looking at this? The fact that there have been 2,000 visits from the police to people involved in this year, I wonder, have they had 2,000 visits to people who are doing real-time bullying or real-life bullying as opposed to online? I mean, it's all real. I know it's all real, but are they taking this more seriously, or does that send out a message to youngsters, don't get involved in this because you may get a knock on the door?
I think it is sending out a message to youngsters that don't get involved in this, but then I also think that whatever's going on online should be going on offline as well. Children have been being bullied at school for years, and it's often sort of brushed under the carpet or swept away, and children are just left to deal with it. What we seek to do at Charisma Kids is equip children with the skills that they need to be able to be resilient to whatever life throws at them. But as I say, the key thing here is that if every child's able to identify how they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, and what they can do to shift into a more resourceful way of being,
I like you, Erika. This Charisma Kids thing that you do, I mean, you're not just like an academic and you're not quoting figures at me here. You've lived this, you have experience of this, and you've 5 children of your own.
I do, indeed.
Have you ever found out what's causing that?
What's causing
all those children?
It was a lack of TV, I've got one now.
But very, very good advice. Charisma Kids UK.
That's
okay,
right.
And you've got an app on how to deal with all of this and whatever.
Absolutely.
And she's Erika Brodnock. Thank you very much indeed. Very, very good.
Thank you very much.
Matthew, what have